Good morning, this is Shanna. I'm gonna do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. I just received this Marea, or is it Maria? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, tarot, and it is Thoth based, and I know nothing about Thoth. I have a couple Thoth based decks. Actually, I think I have one other one besides this one, the Sun and Moon, and then I have a couple of the classic Thoth decks because, well, who doesn't, I guess. Even if you don't know Thoth, I feel like probably most people have the basic Thoth and the basic RWS. Anyway, I got this. I did kind of a quick flip through of it when I received it the other day, and I thought maybe I would do a side-by-side with the classic Thoth. There are a couple other walkthrough, I don't know if it's a walkthrough necessarily, I can't remember. Tarot Map did a video on this deck and I watched it a while ago. I think she posted it about a year ago, so I can't remember if it was a full walkthrough or if it was just a flip through. Anyway, I'll link everything below as usual, but I wanted to do a side-by-side. And then I thought maybe I would pull out the guidebook for either or both, or sometimes neither, I guess, if I have questions, and I thought I would bring you along. So let's get started. The Marea Tarot, actually I'm going to call it the Marea Tarot. That's what it looks like to me, but if I'm wrong, someone please correct me. This was a Kickstarter, and I had it backed until, I feel like this is kind of a pattern with me, but I had it backed until just the last, I think, day. And in all fairness, something came up financially that I had to prioritize over getting another deck. So I canceled my pledge, but I did reach out to the creator because I actually felt really bad. I really wanted this deck and I kind of hate pulling out at the last minute. So I did reach out to her and kind of gave her the situation and said, you know, if there's extra decks after Kickstarter, I would love to purchase one, and could she let me know? And she's actually stayed in contact with me. This has been several months. She stayed in contact and let me know that she had received the decks from the Kickstarter campaign and that she did have extra and offered to get one sent out to me. So I had no expectations whatsoever as, you know, for being part of that campaign, but she actually included a, you know, what is this? One of the cards that shows, you know, that you've got the first edition, the Kickstarter version, and then gave me the number to fill in. So yeah, I thought that was really nice, and I thought it was, I don't know, thoughtful. So anyway, I feel like that was all a lot of stuff being said. But anyway, so I'm just going to make space for both of these. And actually, I always have great intentions to make this table all cute, but I feel like I also need plenty of space. So this, I actually put this in order yesterday. I sat down and put this in order. I got this secondhand from my library, my local library. They have this tiny, tiny little shop just off their library where you can buy like used books. And I went in there one day and they had this huge deck, and they had another, like the regular version, or, you know, like the regular size in the white box. So I picked them both up for a pretty good price. Neither one of them are the greenie, so, you know, I'm not like hoarding some super expensive rare deck, but this one does have the multiple magician or magus, which I don't really know what that means other than there's more than one. So all of that being said, I think I'll just kind of flip, and then if I feel like I need to have a little bit more of an explanation, or if I have a question, then I'll pull out the guidebook. But mostly I just wanted to see them side by side. I don't know if I'll ever do a Thoth study, but the artwork's beautiful and I like the colors, so I have a couple of them. I don't think I'll likely be purchasing more than just these, but all right, so let me zoom in just a hair so we can see better. Okay. And hopefully, yeah. All right. Actually, I'm going to take off my jacket because I am roasting now. I feel like I always get overheated when I sit up here. Okay, I'm talking too much. So I probably won't necessarily even say the titles just because you guys can read and just that. So, okay, the full, you know what, actually, all of that being said, maybe I will pull out the book because I literally know nothing about Thoth. I really know nothing. I've heard that if you really wanted to, you could sort of correlate it with RWS, but I feel like it's different enough that I probably wouldn't pull it out and use it that way. And I don't even know what I would say about it necessarily. So maybe just the first line or so of each of these. Origin, unity, source of all things, creative energy of spring, and signals the rebirth of your spiritual journey. Obviously, this is the Marea, not the original. So, do you guys need to see that probably? Maybe not so much. I'll just set them aside. Okay, so the Magician or the Magus. This one, like I said, has 3 different ones. I am not really sure why. I did Google why. I was curious, and I didn't really see like an official answer. I read a couple posts on Reddit, and I feel like there was like Quora. I don't know. I have no idea if there's an actual essential, official answer. But if I had to pick one, I suppose I would pick this one. And then this. Symbol of masculine force and impulse. Balances upon the mount of the unconsciousness, jungling with the 5 elements. I do like how, Masha is her name, is the creator of this deck. Masha, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but so I do like how she correlates the colors. She's obviously well studied on the Thoth. Oops, let's see. I'm gonna put these in order. High Priestess is next. And we have the division of unity and the separation of the material from the spiritual. The veil across the lower abdomen hides the secret of eternal purity. Yeah, she's really got all the little symbols here. We've got the grapes. I don't see this necessarily anywhere over here. But the colors are spot on. We've got the moon. All right, the Empress. Let's see. Active but sterile. Oh, let's see. Do I have 2 Empresses? No. Okay, it's just explaining what the numbers 1, 2, and 3 are. Okay. Active but sterile, 2 is fertile, so 3 is the perfect number. It's the number of creation and the symbol of reconciliation because it represents the solution of conflicting duality, which might explain, not really, but 3 is my favorite number. Like, it always has been my favorite number. So, oh, and I just realized this lady is in a wheelchair. That's really cool, especially considering the positioning of the classic Empress. That's really, really cool. I hadn't noticed that. We've got, I would have guessed that this was a swan had I not known, but it looks like maybe it's a heron or a stork. Probably a heron. Oh, pelican. Hello. But no, I would not have guessed that this was a pelican, but I'm assuming it is because it seems like she knows what she's doing. We've got the little birds up here. Very nice. Pomegranate. Very cool. The Emperor says 4 represents practicality, concreteness, and solidity, but also immobility. The strong and dynamic male figure demonstrates his ability to dominate and conquer. I really like this red. Honestly, I think the colors of this deck is what drew me to it in the first place when I first saw it on Kickstarter, because like I said, I'm not a Thoth studied person, but I really like the colors, and I just love how she's really paid attention to the shading and the tones to reflect what's in the classic deck. I'm not going to show every single page of the guidebook because I don't want to like reveal all the things, so I'll just go ahead and read parts while you guys look at the cards. 5 is the symbol of quintessence, the 5th element. It's considered an incorruptible principle of life and motion, and an intermediate between body and soul. The figure of the Hierophant embodies faith, wisdom, and enlightenment, free of science and dogmatic religion. Ooh, I like that. Interesting. Faith, wisdom, and enlightenment, free of science and dogmatic religion. Okay. All right, next we have the Lovers. Again, we've got the symbolism. We have the snake wrapped around the egg. We've got the eagle, the lion. Although it looks here to me like maybe this would be a male lion and this is a female lion, if I had to make assumptions. We have the hands here of the figure. This is really pretty. Oops, oh, we've got multiple lovers. Okay. So it looks like we've got a male-female figure, female-female figure, and perhaps non-binary figures, question mark. So that's really nice that you can choose which one either you resonate with or your querent. That's always handy. And I love this. I'm very impressed with her color choices, with Masha's color choices. I won't go through every single one in the guidebook, but Adjustment, which, if I remember right, is Temperance. Am I right? Justice, Shanna. Yeah, hello. Look at the pictures. So now you know. I don't know the order of, I don't know the number association of tarot. That is not something I have memorized, I guess, or studied. Numerology. I like the concept of numerology. I understand maybe like the 4s. I understand the 3s, the 2, the 1. But beyond that, I am not well versed in numerology. So forgive me if I look back and forth on what these cards are as far as the trumps, or, you know, the majors go. The Hermit. Oh, I like this. The little egg and the snake. We still have the 3 dogs. I'm sure that has a an actual name. Let's see what they're called. Oh, did I skip Fortune? No. Hello, Shanna. Try to pay attention and keep up. Let's see. Let's see if it says in here what that is. I don't think I've ever cracked open a Thoth guidebook of any sort. I took a peek about just, a handful of these last night, and I noticed that a lot of them kind of have poetry for them. So this one says, wander alone, bearing the light and thy staff, and be the light so bright that no one seeth thee. Be not moved by aught without or within. Keep silence in all ways. It's just kind of nice. I didn't know that the Thoth had that. So it doesn't say what these are. I don't know what this is. It seems like something you would see on like Supernatural. Pretty sure that was a thing. Anyway. Fortune. Lust. So this is the first one I feel like that doesn't quite match up color-wise. As far as, being the same. Man, my words are not coming easily to me today. This is nice though. Let's see, lust. 11 is considered the first master number and represents a force that brings a significant change. The Scarlet Woman symbolizes sexual ecstasy and divine exhilaration outside the confines of reason. That seems accurate. The Hanged Man. These are both beautiful. This card's always fascinated me in the Thoth deck. I'm actually curious if it's similar to Rider-Waite-Smith. Symbolizes change, transmutation, and a new cycle. So yeah, it follows the same concept, symbolism, art. 14 represents freedom, exploration, and constant change. Ooh, Sagittarius card. This is me. Sagittarius expresses our dual nature, spiritual and physical, and is oriented towards the development of consciousness. The Devil. The Star. Did I show you guys the backs? Very pretty. The Moon. The Aeon. Judgment. Twenty connects the afterlife with the earthly world. Nui is represented as the starry sky. Nui embraces Hadit, her companion, according to Crowley. Hadit is represented as a golden egg containing a winged fireball. Eternal energy. I don't know if I pronounced Hadit correctly. I will say, there for a long time I was curious how to pronounce Crowley, but I did hear a quote from him once that said something along the lines of, those who know him wholly call him Crowley, and then essentially those who don't call him Crowley. So now we know it's Crowley, like the crow. Just a little fun fact for you today. If you don't believe me, look it up. The This is beautiful. The universe. All right, now we're into Ace of Wands. I do appreciate, and I'm sure you've noticed, well, maybe not because we just got to the minors, but each of the minors will have a keyword, which is nice. Especially, you know, if you're learning. Three of Wands, virtue. This is pretty. Let's look at this one. By the way, her guidebook does have Sephiroth keywords, Tree of Life, astrological decan wheel. So those are there, etc. So, oh, interesting. She also goes into symbolism. And I guess actually this came, her deck came in a slightly different order. I rearranged so that they would go from Ace through the Knight, which is the King as we know it, for Rider-Waite-Smith. So let's see. Oh, maybe we do all the Queens, all the courts first. What are we on? Four of Wands. All right, Venus in Aries brings about the desire for unification, especially between opposites. The four wands form two crosses that unite within a circle. Together they signify limited yet perfected creation. Interesting. I do appreciate, it seems like once you're at least somewhat familiar with the concept of Thoth, or tarot in general, I feel like you could intuit, you know, kind of the meaning from each of these. Like you can see there's like the fire, you can see that there's strife here with the fire, and it's sort of, it almost seems like demons, you know. We've got the snakes, just that conflict and struggle. Something is shaking on my desk. Hold on here. There we go. I won't take super long time on each of these minors where it is just pips. That's really pretty though, she says as she picks up the guidebook again. Mercury in Sagittarius brings eclectic tastes, fast communication, optimism, problem-solving skills, and persuasiveness. The Eight of Wands represented by the flashes of light, simulate brain waves and intellectual activity. The flashes of light come out of the octahedron. Well, we're learning some words today. I do appreciate where she's got the elemental symbols, no, astrological symbols on these. I just think her artwork's beautiful. Like, you know, it's pretty. Like, you know, the classic Thoth is what it is, and it's pretty, it's beautiful art, but this just feels more artsy, I guess. You know, you've kind of got that painterly look, so I do appreciate that. Ten of Wands. All right, did I not put these in the order? Princess and Prince. All right, Princess of Wands. Prince of Wands. I appreciate her sense of gender diversity in this deck. Because I feel like, honestly, a lot of these aren't necessarily, you know, any gender specifically. And I think you could read them as what you needed them to be in that, for that particular query. I will say, last night when I was organizing this, the classic deck, actually maybe it was when I was doing this, it doesn't matter. When I started flipping through, I was like, oh no, there's no king. It took me a minute to realize that the knight is the king in Thoth, so joke's on me. Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Look how juicy this looks. I love that. Four of Cups as luxury. That's interesting. Let's look at that. The Moon and Cancer. Okay, I have to say, the two cards that I feel like I stopped for were both Sagittarius. I don't know if you noticed that, which is my sign. And my moon is Moon in Cancer. And look at that, the Moon in Cancer. So ironic, I don't know. The Moon in Cancer heightens sensitivity and encourages care and nurture. Those under this influence place a high value on love and require emotional stability as their moods tend to fluctuate like the phases of the moon. Yes, in fact, they do. Actually, I will say, why does this reminds me of like one of those 70s Jello molds? You guys see that? I don't know. Like the maybe even earlier, probably like 60s, where they were the glass ones. I was not alive in the 60s, but my grandmother was. So I think this is a beautiful card. I'm going to say that for a lot, but it's true. Six of Cups, pleasure. I like that keyword for Six of Cups. Six of Cups is one of my, it's not a deal breaker card by any means, but it means a lot to me. So I do tend to dig through a deck and see what that, how that card is depicted. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep some of these straight so I'm not losing them off my desk and down my stairs. What was the keyword here? Debauch. Interesting. Eight of Cups. Should we do a 3-card reading when we're done? See what we can come up with. How do we say this word? I know the word. I could use it in a sentence, probably. Satiety? Satiety? I don't know. The Knight. I'm going to stop and put these in order each time because I do not do that. Princess. I love that there's a dolphin here versus this weird trout thing or whatever. Aw, I like the turtle. The Prince of Cups. She does have a good sense of diversity as well, as far as skin tones. I believe... Where did this ship from? I wanted to say the Ukraine, but I don't think that's right. It's gonna bug me. Let's see if our guidebook says. Because I'm using my phone, so I cannot look it up. Italy, perhaps? Her name doesn't sound Italian necessarily. Okay, let's pull out the iPad. Because I feel like, not that it matters, but I am curious. Now you have to wait alongside with me. Kulenovic. Yes, I bet that's how you pronounce her last name. Kulenovic. As if I know. I'm just guessing. Don't worry about it. Take your time. Okay, let's see. Why do I have no internet? Not helpful. Didn't we do this like last time? Pretty sure we did. There we go. Let's see if it says where she's from. Only because I'm curious. Italy, okay. Says it's the inclusive deck that represents individuals with diverse skin tones, various body shapes, disabilities, and celebrates a small but important part of the LGBTQ community. LGBTQ plus community. I'm excited to showcase this diversity and promote inclusivity throughout the deck. So that's cool. I appreciate that. I like that that's an option for some of our decks. All right, moving on. Queen of Cups. This is really, really pretty. All right, and we're moving into Swords. I'm going to flip just a little bit quicker. Not that you guys can't just speed up the video, but this is really pretty. This feels very aesthetically pleasing to me. Look at that. What is that? Like a wine, not wine red, but like a, what's that red dessert wine? I don't know. I don't know wines. Whatever the name of that is, that's what this looks like to me. Cruelty, 9 of Swords. Ooh, good keyword. Interesting. 10 of Swords, Ruin. We're going to reorganize these. This is cool. I like the softness of their wings over here versus here. She's done a beautiful job with her rendition of these cards. I wonder what Crowley would think. Do we care? Probably not. Maybe. I like this a lot. Look at these little swifts down here. This is another favorite card of mine. It's just, it's very aesthetically pleasing to me. This is probably one of my least favorite cards. I know this is the backs of some of the more current editions of the Thoth Tarot. I don't care for it. Let's look it up. Let's see what it means. Two of Discs. Okay, we're gonna get there eventually. My dogs are doing something. I can hear them. Two of Discs, right? Yes, we'll get there. Okay. Those under the influence of Jupiter in Capricorn. Capricorn's another one of my signs, the rising sign. Okay. Those under the influence of Jupiter in Capricorn tend towards law, order, and tradition. They are focused upon the practical goals, and can be excessively strict. I'd like to say that's not me, but it absolutely is. So I'm going to say that this deck is willing to chat with me. It's feeling chatty. I have goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I love it when this stuff happens. This is pretty. This reminds me of summer. Three of Discs works. I feel like this deck's just itching to give us a message. Okay, let's finish flipping here because now I'm getting excited to hear what they have to say to me, to us, to you, to me. Yay! Okay, I'm taking a deep breath. This is really pretty too. Failure, Seven of Discs. See, okay, this was one I saw, and I don't see Seven of Discs as failure, so let's look it up, because I was curious on that one. Saturn in Taurus incites a fear of failure, a tendency to exaggerate, a lack of compassion, and an inclination towards violence. Interesting. The 7 discs are represented by a stem of rotten tomatoes that form the geometric figure rubis, a symbol of bloodshed and misfortune. Interesting. Because that's not at all what it is in Rider-Waite-Smith, right? Or at least generally speaking, if we're going by traditional meanings. So that's interesting. A failure. 8 of Discs. Beautiful. Okay, do you guys see a gnome here? Like, do you see that? That's pretty cute. Loving the colors. And I also really, really like this card. That's pretty. Prince of Discs. I think Masha's done a beautiful job with her depiction of the human figures in this deck. Lovely. All right, and the Knight of Discs. Okay, I paused the video. I wanted to find a spread to do. I'm going to go with this one. It has 6 cards, so it's going to take a few minutes. Feel free to sign off now if you'd like. I will say thank you for joining me if you decide to leave. But if you're here for the rest of the video, let's do the purpose of today daily tarot spread. This is Emerald Lotus Divination. Let's take a screenshot if you'd like to. All right. Let's give this Marea Tarot a good shuffle. Actually, I'm probably going to zoom out just a hair, so forgive me a moment. Okay. There, now we can take full advantage of the aesthetic view. Don't know if I can shuffle these. They're fairly large. Oh, okay. So, standard tarot size. The deck I made is standard. So it's slightly taller than standard and quite a bit wider. So I would say kind of oracle sized, if I had to make a comparison. So let's see. Relatively thin. I don't hate it. Highly shuffleable. Okay, this should have been an obvious pick. Let's do a deck interview. I generally have my own set of questions that I ask a deck when I receive it, but let's do one of these. So, screenshot now if you'd like. All right, our relationship together as a whole. 5 of Discs. Sorry, I had to just make sure the camera was rolling. That would have sucked. Okay. All right, our relationship together as a whole. Mercury in Taurus imparts pragmatism, conservatism, and skepticism. Healthy skepticism. Let's see. Wisdom, communication, continuity, stability, and security. Fear and struggle associated with change, especially when it relates to the loss of comfort and safety. So maybe this deck will help me through big changes, which is good because I feel like a lot of big changes are not necessarily headed in my direction, but I feel like I'm in the middle of a lot of big changes, so I think that could be beneficial. How will we work together? 9 of Cups. Which would be satisfaction or bliss, contentment, if we were looking at Rider-Waite. So for this, Jupiter in Pisces imparts generosity, a spirit of sacrifice and forgiveness. and a compassion for all those in need. Jupiter symbolizes optimism, generosity, expansion, growth, luck, faith, and abundance. Let's see. In the Nine of Cups, we focus upon unfulfilled desires so that rather than running away from the world out of fear... Sorry, I gotta fix this so it's not turning off. Oops. Gosh, stop. Rather than running away from the world out of fear, we embrace life with optimism, love, and renewed sense of confidence in the future. Okay. So facing the big fears, or the big changes, looking at it with what? Confidence, love, renewed, optimism. So that's good. So I think the deck wants to help me work through these changes for sure. All right, Four of Discs. How is this book organized? It's kind of weird. I guess all the quartz are first and the minors are last. Okay. An important aspect of my personality. Sun in Capricorn brings diligence, precision, endurance, and realism. The individual under this influence can also be closed. Well, whatever. Way to call me out. Let's see. So let's finish this and then let's think on it being reversed since I pulled it that way. Important aspect of your personality. So, okay, let's see. Reveals the essence of our existence, our inner being, and true identity. Does this have reversals? Let's see. The small cards. Let's see. Okay, this is organized differently as well. All right, four fives, four fours. Cups and discs. The heaviness of the symbol rather outweighs any consideration of its weakness. The card is called Power. It is the power which dominates and stabilizes everything, but manages its affairs more by negotiation, by pacific methods, than by pacific methods? Is this supposed to be specific? Probably not. Then by assertion of itself, suggested divinatory elucidation, the power of fortune and property accumulated thus to maintain the means for further stable conditions. Okay, what? I don't know. This is why we would study a deck, you guys, not just come on here talking like we know what we're talking about. Also, okay, I have to tell you, there's this cute guy that walks around our neighborhood, like he's like, I don't know, 80, okay? He walks around the neighborhood and he has this like fisherman's vest and he puts peanuts, raw peanuts in shells in his pockets, all the little pockets. And so every time he walks by, first of all, if you walk around our neighborhood, you find these empty peanut shells everywhere. But if he walks past our house, he's got like 15 different crows that follow him. And it's really cute. And he's just trucking along down the sidewalk, throwing peanuts, and they love him. Anyway, side note, I just thought that was cute, so I was going to share. Okay, Shanna, let's focus. Okay. An important aspect of my personality. Let's see. So, we said the individual under this influence can be closed. The Four of Discs, solid, but it's reversed. So what does that mean? I don't know. Let's look. Should we Google it? Okay, feel free to fast forward this part, but I'm going to Google it really quick because I'm curious. I'll have to look at later because I don't want to bore you all to death. Oh gosh. By digging into that too deeply. So let's move on. I'll keep this one in mind for when I'm done. Number 4, something you require from me. 8 of Discs. The individual under the influence of the sun in Virgo is neat, meticulous, and reliable, but at times can be distrustful and overly security conscious. Also, yes. So what does it require from me? Maybe to learn to trust a little bit more, which I don't like that. I'm not good at that, but I guess that's what it's calling me out on. Yeah, that is not part of my personality set. So, okay, something to work on. Something I can expect of you as the deck, which we've got 10 of Swords. Sun in Gemini imparts pure intellectual knowledge detached from emotional thought. So the deck is a genius. I can expect its geniusness to come out. That's what I'm getting from this. So the deck's confident is what I'm hearing. Let's see. The sun reveals the essence of our existence, our inner being and true identity. The sun signifies awareness, will, dynamism, and self-realization. Let's see. Ten of Swords represents an ending, not a natural death or apocalyptic end, but an arbitrary end. There's nothing left to lose. Okay. Confident, knowledgeable. It has nothing to lose. Okay, so it's not gonna beat around the bush. It's gonna tell me like it is, be straightforward, which I appreciate because, yeah. Okay, and lastly, a message you'd like to give me. So this is a message from the deck to me. Ooh, and it's another reversal. Interesting. I didn't notice that. Okay, 5 of Wands. Saturn in Leo imparts maturity, responsibility, self-awareness, self-criticism, and the desire to express individuality. So given that it's reversed, maybe it's saying, chill out, stop being so serious. You don't always have to be the mature one. You don't always have to be the responsible one. Okay, Marea Tarot. Saturn represents structure, stability, and limitation. Saturn is the master of time who reminds us that everything must end. The balance and refinement of the 4 of Wands, which imposed limitation, is destroyed in the 5 of Wands, creating space for growth and evolution. 5 of Wands forces us out of our comfort zone and encourages confrontation with others. Well, I certainly don't need to, encourage more confrontation, but I guess maybe in this context, it's meaning speaking up for myself. It's an almost revolutionary renewal, the awakening of the individual consciousness as experienced by adolescents during puberty. So, okay, well, this was really cool, and I kind of like the deck. I'm going to leave this here because I'll take a picture and I can dig further into those reversal meanings. But yeah, thank you guys. I mean, we are just over an hour now, so thank you for sitting through this with me. Hopefully I fast forwarded, for you, all of these shuffling and boring parts, but I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your comments and your follows and your likes and subscribes and all of that. So, yeah, so I will see you guys next week. Take care. We'll see you then.